Hello and welcome to SaaS Marketing Insights, the show where we ask SaaS founders, CEOs, marketers and investors about the lessons they've learned in their quest to grow their companies. My name is Paul Stevenson and I'm founder and CEO of SaaS marketing agency 47 Insights. On today's show, I have an interview with Paula Hingley, marketing manager at Echosec. Hope you enjoy it. So I'm here with Paula Hingley, who's the marketing manager at Echosec, based here in Victoria, BC. Hi, Paula.
Hi.
So you've got a really interesting story to tell, or I think it's interesting at least, about how you got started in your SaaS marketing career. Right. So start off by telling us how long you've been in SaaS marketing, Paula.
I guess officially I've had the marketing title for just over a year.
Wow.
Maybe just under a year, actually. Yeah, I started last May. Before that, I was kind of doing a little bit of content marketing, mostly writing blog posts, but mostly my title was administrative assistant.
So were you working in the business for very long before that?
So the administrative assistant job was basically about a year. Before that, I was a chef and a cook.
Okay, so you were a chef.
Yeah.
And you moved into tech, and now you've moved into tech marketing.
Yep.
With Echosec.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us what Echosec do? Because
sure. Not
many people may have heard of it.
Yeah. So Echosec is a location-based social media search platform. So you can find out what's happening anywhere in the world based on what people are posting on social media. And you find those posts by drawing a geofence, is what it's called, a digital fence on a map. And you can do that anywhere in the world and see what's happening right now in real time.
So which social media networks does it work with?
Oh, we're always adding more feeds. At the moment, it's Twitter, Flickr, YouTube, Reddit, VK, which is like the Russian Facebook, Vimeo. We get Wikipedia data, which I know isn't a social media, but it's points of interest in different locations. Bing News as well for things like press releases and other news-related pieces of content. We also get Facebook and Instagram through Twitter. Am I missing any? I think that might be it.
That sounds pretty comprehensive list to me.
Yeah.
And so, who would typically use Echosec? And what would they use it for?
So historically, we were mostly a security platform, hence the name Echosec. And then we quickly found out that other industries were wanting this kind of technology. So now our focus is on security, journalism, marketing, and branding, and analyst.
What sort of market analyst or?
Yeah, and financial analysts.
Right, okay.
It's a really quick way to find out what's happening somewhere. So if there's a political issue or a environmental or natural disaster, it's and maybe you have stocks invested or you have some investments in an area, you want to find out actually what's happening. The best way to find that out is to see what people are tweeting from there or posting on those various networks.
So you just cut out the middleman and go direct to the source, what people are actually saying.
How bad was that earthquake, really?
Yeah.
What was the impact of this event?
How long has Echosec been going?
They were founded in the end of 2013 or the beginning of 2014.
So it's actually quite a new business.
Yep. Still considered a startup, I suppose.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is that a space, it's not a space I know really well, but it strikes me that it would be pretty competitive.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of the features that we have are shared amongst other kind of companies. Things like Hootsuite, they're more of the social media management side, but they do a certain degree of social media listening as well and finding out, brand mentions and that kind of thing.
Engagement, that sort of
thing.
Basic analytics.
Yeah, so we do have quite a bit of competitors, quite a few, but we're the ones really where location is the focus.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's probably our biggest differentiator.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so that's Echosec. You started out as a cook.
Yeah.
You're now in marketing. That must be a massive change. You must have had to have learned a completely different set of skills.
Still learning.
Yeah. So how are you going about doing that?
Oh, it's amazing. This field is incredible. There's so many resources online. I mean, if you want to learn how to do digital marketing, you can probably get a pretty good education for free by just reading articles.
What sort of sources have you been looking at, or do you rate?
HubSpot Academy is incredible.
Yeah.
Google Analytics Academy, AdWords Academy, all the big companies have their own academies where they show you how to use their tools. And so much of digital marketing is understanding how to use the tools that do it. And they want you to learn how to use them so that you'll buy them. So really there's so much education out there for free. It's amazing. Lynda.com is also really good.
Yeah, that's now owned by LinkedIn, isn't it?
That's true, yeah. So, and of course, networking with others in the industry and taking people like you out for a cider once in a while and picking your brain is really helpful.
Yeah, so. I'm happy to do anything for cider. Great, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, you threw me a bit with the cider. So in terms of what you're doing, your role, what does the day-to-day look like for you at Echosec? What sort of tasks are you doing, and is it tactical stuff, or are you like shaping the strategy?
A little bit of both. I do have a lot of help from a team in the US that we, like a sales and marketing contractors, basically.
Sure.
And we kind of work together on a lot of things. So that's one of the challenges of my day-to-day is figuring out how best to spend my time. Am I, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be kind of planning the next quarter of content and kind of looking at the strategic vision of the whole company and what we're doing. And then, maybe on Wednesday I'll say, okay, I really need to write this article, and I'll just, push it out on a Wednesday.
Put your head down, blinkers on.
Exactly. But then there's so many distractions. I mean, we're constantly bombarded with, oh shoot, like this certain campaign I need to check on, or somebody asks me about a certain metric that I need to have, and so I'm kind of always jumping around. Like you said to me once, it's all about flipping switches and just deciding which switch to flip when.
Oh, the marketing levers.
Yeah, so
pulling the levers.
So there's a lot of. I mean, it's really tricky to kind of focus and nail down. This is my dedicated time for this specific project.
Yeah.
So my day-to-day could be anything. One day it'll be writing emails, just loads and loads of emails for email marketing campaigns.
Yeah, what kind of sequence emails?
Yeah, right now I'm writing a pillar page. So that's a giant piece of content that is kind of daunting.
Yeah.
And it's, but it's going to be great when it's done. But so
when it's done.
Yeah, so sometimes my days are just buckling down and writing.
Sure.
And sometimes it's, looking at all the metrics and figuring out, what to do next and what's working, what's not working, switching things on and off. Yeah.
So as a cook, as a chef, you used to work long hours, standing up all of the time, very physical job, and now you're sitting at a desk all day?
Yep.
How have you dealt with that change?
Well, I do have one of those sit-stand desks,
yeah.
which helps, but I do find it hard to stand for long periods of time. Walking around is really helpful. It's fine. I could cook all day because I'm moving around, but standing in one place is really tricky. So I'd still do a lot of the other kind of office administrative jobs, like, oh, we need envelopes, I'll go get some, or somebody needs, it's time to go
just because you fancy
I'm more of an extroverted kind of marketer, so I do like to chat with people.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that Echosec tends to send me to conferences a fair bit.
Nice.
So
you been anywhere nice yet?
Yeah. Last year alone, I was in Washington, D.C., Orlando, Dallas, San Francisco, San Diego. I'm going to Seattle next week, and then New Orleans the following weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a marketing travel budget.
That's my favorite part of the job is
Sure.
definitely getting out, talking to people, finding out what they need and how we can kind of fit their needs.
Sure. So I've noticed that you've started doing customer walkthroughs and videos and
Yes.
stuff on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And be interested to hear how that's working out.
Yeah, so I think because I am a fairly new marketer and because I'm fairly new to the tech world, this stuff was very confusing to me at first. You know, I walked in and they said, oh, well, they're talking about APIs and
SDKs.
CPAs and all these things. And I understand now a lot more of it, but I still feel like because I have this experience of not being immersed in this world for so long, it's really important to me to translate the tech lingo and into something that people actually understand. Because we're not selling to tech people necessarily.
No.
We're selling to, security people and to, marketers understand a lot of it, but
Depends if they're tech marketers. Some marketers just, if they're like more brand based, they don't understand a lot of it.
Yeah. So I think with the videos, my goal there is to really try and make it so that people understand what we do in really basic terms, in ways that I understand.
Yeah.
Because that's it's a huge part of.
Yeah, and it makes the software very kind of accessible, and also, puts a human face on it.
Exactly.
Which is, one of the problems with tech marketing. People think it's just about showing an interface and showing some features and showing what it can do, but to actually bring this stuff alive, you actually need a person to then explain it within the context of whether it's a security professional or a marketing professional, and put the story, in the context of their role and what their needs are. And I guess that's kind of a lot about what you have to do is understand each segment and market accordingly to them.
Exactly. My friend, my really good friend the other day saw one of my videos and he said, I think I finally kind of understand what your company does. And I was like, perfect.
Can you tell me?
That's exactly what I wanted. So so that's a channel I'm going to keep going with. I really like.
Great. And is there anything else that you're experimenting with or innovating with or you'd like to try?
Good question. Graphic design. So
I've heard it's a thing.
Yeah. Really the whole post-production of things like videos and audio is a big one for me, and any kind of design. I have zero design background, so we have designers on staff, which is great, but sometimes I just want a thing now, and I want to make an infographic and put it out there. I think that if I can hone those skills, I'll be much more useful.
A well-rounded marketer.
Yeah. They talk about the T-shaped marketer, which
they do.
They. Which I think is
trendy,
a good.
It's trendy.
It makes sense to me, though.
It does.
It's like have a good basic understanding of across the board, and then really focus on one. And I think the design side is something I need to get that basic grasp on. Our CEO is always pushing me to get into things like Lightroom and all the Adobe products. So it's happening.
Great. And so this is the killer question. Now that you're a full-time, fully fledged marketer, how do you relax? Do you still cook for yourself?
All the time. I love to cook.
Do you miss it?
I don't miss cooking as a job, really.
Too hard.
Yeah,
grind.
I don't. I do. I really love. I love what this job has done for my work life. I mean, I love that I can
Going home
bring
at 5:30.
Yeah, I can bring my computer anywhere. I can be on the road. I love that.
So you're a digital nomad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great.
But I do. Cooking is my number one favorite thing, and I consume the most food media I think out of anyone in the world. You cannot serve me too much food media. I'm just always wanting more. I mean, it's insane. And actually, I get a lot of inspiration from these things because marketing's marketing, right?
Yeah,
I look
that's
at
right.
what somebody like Bon Appetit is doing, and I think, oh, that's good. I like what they're doing there. And I
Cross-fertilization of ideas.
Yeah.
I can use that. Steal that. No one will know.
Oh, completely. I mean, the way they're doing the Facebook Live things, they do one, well, I'll get into it. Bon Appetit does one every week, every Wednesday called Technique of the Week. And it's just somebody from their test kitchen showing them a recipe. Sometimes they're not prepared. Sometimes they're just, okay, we're going to make poached eggs or whatever it is. And so I think that's given me the kind of confidence to to do that kind of thing and say it's good. I mean, people kind of like it.
Yeah.
I'm doing these customer interviews where they're pretty rough, but it's fun. And
but they have a time and a place. They're Emferal. They're not going to be around forever, but they have a little job to do.
Yeah.
And they're authentic, I guess.
Exactly. And I think that the feeling like everything needs to be super polished is a really good way of not doing something.
Yeah, absolutely. You can put it off forever.
No, it's better to do it and then, get better at it and make them more polished as you go, but you still have to just do it. So that's been, food media is actually a big inspiration for my marketing career now, even though I'm marketing a social media search platform.
We're going to change this to SaaS and cooking marketing insights.
Sure. I like it.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Paula. I really enjoyed our chat.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Paula. For more info on Echosec, please visit www.echosec.net. For more info about this show and to get our links to iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and YouTube, check out www.47insights.com. And if you have any SaaS marketing insights that you'd like to share on the show, please get in touch. Until next time.